Hello everybody and welcome to the kitchen, or Studio K as it's better known. This is our first foray into the kitchen for 2021, so Happy New Year everyone. I knew when I got this apron when we were doing our nomad staycation and Ginevra from Italy gave it to me, I knew I was making pasta with it, and I thought that would be a great way to kick off the year. So I'm going to attempt to show you how I make pasta. Full disclosure here, I never measure anything. So I'm attempting to create measures around these so that you can reproduce what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with some wonderful Italian sausage. I've got some Johnsonville that I picked up at the grocery store. I'm also going to make my very favorite meatball recipe. I got it out of Better Homes and Gardens probably 20 years ago. I love this meatball recipe. Some of these ingredients here on the left-hand side are going into those meatballs. And then I'm going to make sauce, starting with some contadina, and then I'm going to season it with oregano and basil, my two favorites. And we're going to serve all that over penne pasta. This is an absolute favorite. Not the way my mom made it, I kind of invented it. So let's make pasta today. Here we are at the stove, my work area. Everybody's familiar with that, I am sure. What we're going to do first is start the sausage. I want the sausage totally done and edible before we move on to putting it in the sauce. So I'm just going to put it in a frying pan, and I'm going to put it in a little water bath, and it's going to simmer until done. I'll keep an eye on it, turn it over a couple times as it's cooking, but basically it's just going to steam here in the frying pan. And those of you who cook casing sausage, it's always good to poke a few holes in the casing just so steam can escape. Alrighty, that is that. I'm just going to get it going, and since this is my work area, I'm actually going to put it back here kind of out of the way and get it going right there. Alright, cross your fingers. You know every time I do this, these things don't want to light, but that one lit right up. Alrighty, let me get ready now. We're going to start our meatballs next. All set up to start the meatballs. I just want you to see how beat up and old this recipe is. I have used it a million times. These are the best meatballs. All right, it calls for 3/4 cup of fresh breadcrumbs. Over the years, I have decided that a hamburger bun actually works better than bread. So I'm just going to make some fresh breadcrumbs here. With my hamburger bun, I need 3/4 cup, and I've already kind of stacked the rest of my flavoring ingredients. And when I'm done here, I'm going to turn my oven on because these meatballs actually bake. They don't fry, they bake, and they are wonderful. We're going to start our meatballs. That one hamburger bun made about 3/4 cup. Perfect. So I need to start with 1 egg, and I'm just going to beat it lightly. So I'm going to put all my liquids and my flavorings in, and then my ground beef is going to go in last. So there's my 1 egg. Then I also need 1/3 cup of milk. Do that. And then 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire. These are so flavorful, and I'm going to give you some tips about these meatballs and sausage as we go along. All right, there's my Worcestershire, and then I need 1/4 teaspoon each of salt, onion powder, and garlic powder. So I'm going to start with the salt. I don't want to put it over my bowl in case I overdo. All right, 1/4 teaspoon salt. There's my garlic powder next. You don't have to be precise on this. And then a little bit of onion as well. Alrighty, now I need the breadcrumbs. I'm going to stir these with a wooden spoon real quick, and then we're going to take the rings off, and we're going to be making a meatball-y mess. So you can see in the overhead camera, we've sort of made a bunch of mush here, but This makes really flavorful meatballs. All right, now take the rings off, and calls for 1.5 pounds of ground beef. This is super duper lean. I picked up 91% lean at the grocery store. So let me just sprinkle that in my bowl. Super red and bright. I love ground beef that you know is very, very fresh. And this looks to be. No spoon here, it's hands. That is all there is to that. So let me clean my hands, let me get out my cookie sheet, and we're gonna get going rolling meatballs. I set up my sided cookie sheet. You're definitely gonna want this. There's not gonna be a lot of fat runoff on this, but you definitely want a cookie sheet with a side to bake these. I turned my oven on to preheat to 350. By the time I have these rolled, it'll be ready. But before I do that, I want to turn my sausage over just to keep it cooking evenly. This will be the first turn on this. 3 tries, Paula. The thing is stubborn. Alrighty, moving along. Like I said, we're gonna make about a 1-inch meatball. These are more or less bite size, and they are just perfect. What I was gonna tell you about this, when we make these lovely bite-sized meatballs, and I'm gonna cut the sausage in bite-sized pieces as well, you can put the sausage, the meatballs, and the sauce on a buffet, and I have done this. Don't even make the pasta, and just serve it on a buffet. People love it. Do they not, cameraman?
Yes, they do.
It is a huge hit. I have done that many, many, many times. Just the sausage, the meatballs, and the sauce. Little tip, serve it with Hawaiian sweet rolls. Oh my gosh, fantastic. So there, you have a little party tip too, whenever you're allowed to have a party. Coming up on my last row. They are almost ready to go in the oven, and my oven temperature is just about right, so we're coming along. It's a little game I play with myself to make sure I actually get 40. I do this all the time, and without even trying, I think I'm gonna get 40 meatballs. How'd I do, cameraman? That's 40 meatballs.
Looks great.
They are going into the oven, 350. I'm gonna check them at a half hour. Ready to start the sauce. I am going to just saute some garlic, 2 cloves, and about a 1/2 cup of minced onion in some olive oil to give it a base to get started. So let me do that. Medium-high heat to start. A couple tablespoons of olive oil in the bottom of my deep saucepan. And I have minced a couple of cloves of fresh garlic. Get those in. And here's my 1/2 cup of my famous sweet onion that I love. And I'm gonna saute those for just a few minutes till I start to see a little bit of browning, and then I've got my sauce standing by, and we will put that in. It is just plain tomato sauce, no flavorings, no nothing, just tomato goodness. Meanwhile, my sausages are looking great, coming along. Let me get this lightly browned, and then we'll be back to put the sauce in. That didn't take too long. These are lightly browning, smelling great. So let me get some sauce in, and always it spits terrible, so let me just be real careful with that. The oil's very hot, so you did get some spitting, of course. I'll come back and scoop out each can to get all the sauce out of it that I can. So I'm going to start with 4 cans of sauce. If you buy the big cans, you can probably do with 2 of those. I've done that as well. I've also made this with Hunt's. It doesn't have to be contadina, just whatever you have. All right, stir that olive oil, flavor, onion and garlic in. And I'm just going to keep it on kind of medium-high heat so it doesn't spit, and I'm going to bring the sauce to a boil. Sauce is boiling, so before I move on with it though, it's time for me to take the lid off my sausage. I need that water to start sweating off so that I can get a nice browning on the sausage. So we'll let that go back there by itself, and let me move on with my sauce. So we got a gentle boil going on here. And this is a part where I warned you, I kind of never measure, but we're going to attempt to measure here. I'm going to start with a teaspoon of salt. I know I'm going to be tasting it later and probably adding more, but we'll start with a teaspoon. And I'm also going to do a teaspoon of nice basil. I don't go nuts with my flavoring on my pasta sauce. I do basil and oregano because they are the classics. So this is some dried basil. Put a teaspoon of that, and then some dried oregano, a teaspoon of that. And then I'm just going to grind some pepper in there. It's not an exact science, as you know, when you make pasta sauce. And it always, oh, aromatic already. And I just put it in there, yum. All right, now let me just grind in some pepper as well. I probably won't come back with more herbs, but I may come back with more salt and pepper later on. All right, let me stir that, and then we're at the point now where I'm going to turn the heat down and put the lid on, because basically I just want the sauce to cook quietly and gently by itself for a little while, and then we'll be putting our meats in and letting them simmer in this wonderful sauce. That is it on the sauce. Lid goes on, and we will be just turning down the heat and just letting that simmer for a little bit. My timer has gone off. Let's take a look at my meatballs. And I have a feeling they are going to be done. That was so lean, that ground beef. Here, let me put it on the overhead camera as well. That was so lean that they are done in 30 minutes. And you notice that there's absolutely no fat on this as well. These are going to be super lean and super good. All right, I'm going to set those aside to cool. And you see that my sausage is still bubbling away nicely, and so is my pasta sauce. So we're in a little bit of a holding pattern. I'm going to wait till the sausage is nice and brown, and then we're going to put all our meats in the sauce at the same time. I just turned my sausage off. It's amazing what a few minutes do, huh? Look at this beautiful thing, and cameraman Dale is going nuts. He can't wait to start picking the stuff off the bottom on this sausage pan. Oh my goodness. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to just cut these in probably threes. Kind of a bite-sized piece like so. And then they are going, you see it's fully cooked. They are going in then my pasta sauce. And I already took the meatballs off their cookie sheet, and they are staged and ready as well to go in. So Dale said, it smells like a pizza parlor in here. That is not a bad thing. Alrighty. Why did I wear a white apron when I'm making pasta? What am I thinking? So here we go with, first of all, the meatballs. Trust me when I say we will have leftovers on this, and I don't even think I'm going to put all the meatballs in. I might save them. The recipe is actually called freezer meatballs. You can actually make these, freeze them, and then use them in recipes later on. However, I am going to put all the sausage in because it was just a pound, and we do love Italian sausage. Cameraman, shall I save one out for you?
Please.
In fact, I'll save two. All right, I am going to just stir this up, and we're going to put this pot on simmer for about a half hour. And in a little bit, I'll get my pasta water boiling. But meanwhile, we're just, wow, that burned me. We're gonna get our pasta simmering, or I'm sorry, our sauce simmering with the sausage and meatballs in it, which is just gonna give it all the wonderful layered flavors that we love about pasta sauce. Almost half an hour. I've boiled some water. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt in it, and we're going to start our penne pasta. I never measure the salt, I just put some in there. And I'm gonna need half a bag of this for 2 of us because I love leftover pasta. And you know, I was standing here reading the bag while I was waiting to come back on. A fascinating thing, the wheat to make American Beauty pasta is actually grown in the desert Southwest, which makes it extra golden and extra good. And since we live in the desert Southwest, I'm all about it. Sounds good. I need a bigger slit in this. I did not know that when I bought it. Alrighty, that's about half of a pound. So I like it a little more done than less done. So I'm gonna do it at about 6 or 7 minutes, and we'll get that going. Now, meanwhile, let's take a quick peek at this bunch of goodness here. I've been stirring it about every 5 minutes, and it spits like crazy every time I do. But oh, those meatballs and sausage, and the sauce has really gained some thickness. I'll tell you what, I can't wait to eat dinner today. Ladies and gentlemen, look who we have. The most famous chef I know. I had to invite Chef Dale into Paula's kitchen to taste my sauce.
This is Chef Dale, and I'm going to taste this sauce because she's one of the greatest students I've ever had.
Oh, Chef Dale.
In the culinary world. So let me just give it a little taste.
Tell me if I need salt.
That is perfect pasta sauce for pasta. Now, the thing is, whenever I hear the word pasta, you know, I don't know what it is about that word. It's almost like somebody said pie. Pie? Somebody said pie? What? I can't say...
We don't say pie.
Pie?
In this kitchen.
Well, you just said it.
We can't say that word, P-I-E.
Okay, I don't know what that's all about, but this is excellent sauce, and if you get a chance to make it, because this is right from Paula's kitchen. I gotta go.
Thank you, Chef Dale, for popping by. Alrighty, my pasta is done, and hopefully cameraman Dale will follow me over to the sink. I'm going to drain it. You almost never see this side of the kitchen, do you? All right, I'm just going to let that drain for just a moment and put it right back in my saucepan. And I don't mind having a little bit of noodle water, it's nutritious. All right, back to the stove, and we are going to wrap things up now, you guys. I'm going to ladle some sauce onto this. We're going to serve the meatballs and sausage with a nice fresh crisp salad. Oh my goodness, it is time for food. Well, hello there, everybody. We're chowing down.
I started.
You saw that beautiful pan of these amazing plates, and we have been enjoying the smell for a couple of hours. We simply could not wait.
It is absolutely delicious. The pasta is just perfectly firm, and the sauce is excellent. I couldn't wait. I'm sorry. I couldn't wait.
And he was just rhapsodizing over both the meatballs and the sausage.
I've already had a meatball and a sausage, but I will cut this sauce. Look at that. It cuts like butter. This is the meatball. I don't have two cameras on this shot. We sort of set this up quick because we started eating.
Well, maybe we could zoom in on it and show you just how wonderful. The trick is to have the meat completely done ahead of time, and then when you put it in the sauce, it just absorbs the flavors.
Let's see if I can zoom in on that a little bit.
Oh, you're going to drip it. There you go. You can't eat pasta without making a mess, right?
Anyway, you saw how it's made, and we're
sure
showing
did.
you how we eat it.
Yeah. Big family favorite, big party favorite. It is just a go-to recipe my whole entire adult life.
And we also have a salad to go with it.
Yeah, we're having a salad.
The only thing we didn't think about was a piece of bread.
Garlic bread,
Yeah.
which you can, of course, buy in the grocery store or make.
Yeah.
We didn't do that today, but... and, of course, we don't have any, like mascarpone or spumoni or anything for dessert. Shoot!
I'm really surprised that you haven't made this before in Paul's Kitchen.
I am too, and it occurred to me, it is 2021, this is our 21st official episode of Paula's Kitchen.
Wow.
What took me so long?
That's amazing.
Seriously.
Yeah, because it really is delicious.
And it's a classic. I've been making it my whole life.
So give it a try. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification button. We are starting out the year 2021 right here in Paula's Kitchen, and I think that's a great way to start it out.
It is. Good food and good company. What else is there?
All right, I hope you had a good time. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for being with us.